Let me sincerely start by appreciating you, sir, and our distinguished mother here for that wonderful, I want to call it a lecture for me. It's good for me to say that I'm proud to say it. I'm 42 days in marriage, which is approximately 1,080 hours. And when I heard that you people are 20 years in marriage, and I said, well, God has been faithful. So before we go straight to the questions that we have at hand, first and foremost, my name is Dr. Philip, as introduced. I want you to tell us, just from both of you, in course of your marriage, what are those?
Thank you.
What are those constants that you had in your life that after having met your wife, you had to convert it to variable? And I also want to hear from you too. What are those things that you had to change? I know the first thing you say, you gave access to your wife or your phone. I don't know whether you want to. Just tell us, what are those things?
So in those days, there were no cell phone like this.
Yeah.
There were, if you remember the old days, I used to go to Nantel building to go and call my wife once every week. A Wednesday. No, Tuesday. Yes. So what are the things that you said are the variables constant that change? Now, I grew up in Sokoto, though I'm from Ekiti. Okay? But I grew up all my life in Sokoto. All my life. My father, we are 5 of us in the family. I'm the 4th child. And I went to primary school in Sokoto. I went to secondary school in Sokoto. I went to a university in Mina. I served in Gombe. So I think I operate like a mala. So do you know? And then I'm introverted. My wife is extroverted. I'm introverted. I think it's.
I am introverted. My wife is extroverted. So one of the things that I had to learn, a bit difficult, was the way I could take my time. And she would be so, she said I'm too stubborn. And she used to call me Sokoto Bororo. I don't know if you know, Sokoto Bororo are those goats that used to jump around. Short goats like this. Okay, so I'm laughing about it now, but it's an effort. Okay, really, today, what is really slow? Because really, I was really slow. And I thought it was good to be slow. Just take your time, just enjoy yourself in your cocoon. But no, life is not like that. Life is not like that.
Wow, that's great. We want to hear from you.
Okay, for me, let me put it this way. I grew up in Saple, Benin. I'm the first of 8 children. I have 2 brothers after me, so I grew up a bit aggressive. Okay, I'm still aggressive a bit. Maybe it's the Benin thing, but like I always tell people, I'm a passionate conversationalist. So if I'm talking and my voice is raised, I'm not shouting. It's just me. Sometimes people say, you are shouting. I say, you don't say aggression. If you say aggression, you go run. Oh, this is not aggression. I'm passionate. So I'll talk. But meeting my husband, I can curse. You know how it is there with word. If you say your father laugh, it's nothing now. It's just, we're just showing you something. It's nothing. But I now met a man that could not curse. If it's by not cursing, Tunde will stroll into heaven. He has never told me, you are crazy. He has never cursed people. We live in Lagos. They will hit his car and he will say they are challenged. I said, challenged? People you should be giving 5-fold ministry, you are saying they are challenged. So it took me a while to get used to his personality. Because we are 2 different people. I'm totally extroverted. I'm a cause sanguine and choleric. He is totally introverted. He's first a phlegm and a melancholy. So if you see us, we are like night and day. There's no meeting point. But the beauty is God. Is God. So now I can talk and not maybe shout and not really curse. I still curse. There was a time, I think we were driving in Lagos and I said something. Are you mad or something? My son said, Mommy, is he mad? I said, it's not.
True story. True story.
True life story. So I would say I'm a better person today in terms of the way because if you are really aggressive and the person is not aggressive and you self go borrow yourself brain now, like, what is it? So I think I'm a better person because of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me just add to that. What we've found out is most couples don't apply this principle we learned along the road. What's the principle? Maximize your strengths. Minimize your weaknesses.
Weaknesses, yeah.
So maximize your strengths, am I right?
Yeah.
Minimize your weaknesses. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Somebody mentioned the issue of phone. And of course, in Africa, particularly in Edo State, a woman searching a man's phone is a critical issue. And the person is saying that since I trust you as my spouse,
Why should you search?
why will you check my phone? Because checking my phone is already an indication of distrust.
No.
So why will you check my phone? It becomes
You
an
want to
issue.
answer? You can.
So what? Sir, I want to test whether you listen to our message. What was the second lie we said?
You wrote it down.
Yes,
What did we say?
yes, the second line was trust happens naturally.
It's a lie.
It doesn't
You have to
happen.
build it.
You have to build it. You have to earn the trust. You know you are earn. You
Yeah.
earn money by working. Am I right? Yes. So both of you are coming from a journey. You have to prove to others you are trustable. And one of the ways to do that is no secrecy. Sure, even if it's your own. One day I was driving and somebody called me, and I gave my phone to my wife. The call. I didn't know the. I just gave my wife. Somebody now asked me, Oga, people like you don't give their wives to answer their call, oh, because you don't know who's going to who is calling. I didn't think about that because I need to be open to her.
Okay, let me quickly say this before we go to the next question. Still on the issue of the phone.
Yeah.
You can observe that everybody's so excited hearing this issue of phone. Now, somebody told me, said, in the process of marriage, you must know if your spouse is matured enough to see some things on your phone and keep quiet and not raise some dust over it. That is if it's not professional, because you've mentioned it.
Yes.
Now, don't you think that is a way of managing your home? If you know that your spouse, in terms of the growth process, the person is not yet matured enough to see some certain details on your phone, not professional, because you've mentioned it.
Yeah.
So, don't you think...
Okay, let me say some things. I know we got some messages on addiction. We didn't share, but I have the notes here. So some of the things that people do, even to this phone, most of us are addicted to it. It's like a fix right now, even for the children. As a rule, as parents, we don't give our children phones until they are 13. They can't own a phone. So most times they use my phone to do whatever they want to do. So even if I'm in groups, I always tell people, mind what you said. So if I see anything, I delete, because my children can come see it. I've left groups like that to say, I've warned you guys severally. My children use my phones. I can't keep it. So I personally will not go to my husband's phone and say I'm looking. I said suspicious spirit. I won't go to my husband's phone and be looking for. But sometimes there are information you need as a woman, especially when you are having, women have intuition. When a man comes from work, you are not spending time with me, and all the time you are laughing on the phone. Hey, you are gisting. You are doing everything. This, I'll be curious. Who are you gisting with? Who are you talking to? So you are giving me the suspicion to check your phone.
And you want to act.
I will want to act. It's not a good thing, because like I keep telling people, sometimes what you don't know won't kill you. Sometimes. But the truth remains. I tell men this. You can browse my body. Why can't I browse your phone?
Well, some persons will say, let's not go there.
No, but the truth is respect people's privacy.
Yeah.
So let's talk about personal boundaries. You must understand boundary. If the person does not like you touching their phone,
No, but
please.
he made a very important statement.
Yeah.
She is not matured enough.
No, the maturity now is temperament, where the person is coming from.
Or he,
Not
not necessarily
or
he.
he. It's both ways.
Yes.
There are men that will check their wife's phone. If somebody calls, who is calling?
So,
They're jealous men.
at that point, can you
Yeah.
a little bit manage their sex of?
So, how do you manage that is, first of all, if we're talking to married couples, they're already married. You can't bend them, you can't break them. So, start with the unmarried. Before you marry, don't marry somebody that you cannot trust or cannot give you trust back. Then if you're already married and the person is there, how do we manage our temperament? Because we are all a product of nature and nurture. Our nature is who God made us. And we have 4 main temperaments. Sanguine, choleric, and they all have their attributes and the way they behave. So once you know yourself personally and know your spouse, you know how to manage things. So you need to have emotional intelligence in managing the person you are with, so that you don't get into trouble and bring drama into your home.
Wow,
So
wow.
sorry, please, can I explain that more? I pick up my wife's phone and I see, what have you eaten today? As simple as that. Why is he asking her, what has she eaten today?
Can actually be a food therapist.
I like that.
So that's why my wife said emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence.
Nothing means anything except the meaning you ascribe to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please, can we give a round of applause for that? Now, this person is asking and is saying, if the person he or she likes is not showing any verbal interest, I love this person, is not showing any verbal interest. I think this person reminds me of where I was before I got married. What advice do you have for this person?
So for is a lady and the man is not showing any verbal
He's
interest.
not showing any verbal interest.
Okay. For some people, you say you are woke. Go and ask a man. If you can take rejection, go and ask him. Shoot your shot. You understand? But if you are not that, there are subtle hints you can drop around. Know the person, know his friends, know what the person likes. If you hear that he likes football, check the club that he likes and you can pass a comment. Reverend just passed a comment about Man City. And if you are a Man City fan or something, you'll be able to have that conversation. Then in terms of your dressing, there's a way I always tell ladies, know how to package yourself. Read the book of Ruth. Read Esther. Packaging was involved. Esther listened to her mentor. It was what the guy gave her that she took there. Some of us do not have what we call eye candy. There's nobody that is ugly. It's how you package yourself. Look nice, look neat. Then stay around and get to know the person. And then you pray, because some people really have that terrible fear. They can't speak. God open his mouth. Give him a tongue that I won't be able to resist or gainsay. Open his mouth so that he can talk. But the truth is, the way you go around the person, packaging yourself and getting to find out things about the person, positioning plays a whole lot of role. If Ruth did not position herself well near Boaz, he wouldn't have gone for her. So, but be careful, because some people have sold themselves cheap and they'll go and sleep. And the person will say later, you were coming around me. You didn't define the relationship. You slept with him and we slept with each other. Please don't sell yourself cheap. Say he did not say anything and you are assuming. Don't assume anything. If he does not define to say, because a lot of people have gone that way and they'll still be there and be playing wife to somebody that does not want them. They are just available to the person. You will get heartbroken at the end of the day. So please don't do that.
Thank you very much. I think what is very key for what you mentioned is positioning.
Yes, sir.
And you must be very sensitive in where you are positioned.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Now,
sir.
this person is asking that the wife seems not to be satisfied. Even after doing school run, the breakfast, the lunch, taking her from the house to work, and is wondering, why is my wife not satisfied? I want you to also answer this, because that's the second question the person asked. Because I feel it also boils down to this non-satisfaction. My wife loves cooking ogbolo soup, and I don't like ogbolo soup.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong in that? Two questions in one. So the first one, I've been doing everything, but it seems as if she's not satisfied.
Not satisfied.
So I think we need to dig more into the question, really. What has happened in the past? You know, is there unforgiveness?
The love language, true.
So, yeah, that's another thing. Everybody, apart from that, before I go to the love language, you need to just ask yourself what is in the past. But if there is really nothing in the past, okay, meaning that you maybe had an issue and she can't get out of that ought. So if you have passed that, but she's still not satisfied with anything you're doing, are you speaking her love language? So there are 5 love languages: act of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, and gifts. Everybody has their own
And
love
then there's
language.
food too. There's food.
My wife added food.
Bible says it's love and respect. That's really God's love language for
So
married
you
couples.
added food to
But
it.
food is, I love it when there's food. You understand?
Do we have people in the house that believes in my wife?
They're like me, foodies.
Foodies. so, sir, what I found out, which is the error a lot of people make, is that you give your own love language
To your
your
spouse.
spouse, which is wrong. You should give your spouse our own love language.
Yeah.
So I give a small example. My wife loves quality time as her own love language. Do I love quality time? Yes and not really, because my personality, she's energized by people. So I had to learn, to get home in the evening and just sit down and listen to her. It was painful, but I had to do it.
Wow.
I had to do it. So what I'm asking to that person, you do all these things. That might not be a love language.
Yeah.
One day my wife came and said, today, some ladies have 4 of them. Quality time, physical touch.
They speak the 5 in short.
Yes. One day she came back. We live in Lagos. I said, today you left from island to mainland. You didn't see Ghana to buy. At that time, small gift was not big gift. So small gift was a love language to her.
No, but I grew up with a father that would go out and bring something home. So I now got married. My husband would just go from morning till evening, come home, nothing.
Can you see she's still hot with that?
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, just to finish that question, can we now say that ogbolo soup is not the love language of the other man?
Yes.
Because he's saying that he does not like ogbolo soup,
So you
and
learn-
the wife is having an issue with that. Cook ogbolo soup,
So
you are not.
let me bring this in. If the
Ogbolo
person,
soup and
yes,
like
we will
or
come
not.
to the soup thing.
right.
We have what you call KYC, know your client or know your customer. Every banker here or any customer service person, you keep upgrading your knowledge about the person. George Bernard Shaw said something. He said, the only sensible person I know is my tailor. Because every time he takes my measurement anew, the others will go with the old measurement. So some of us keep using the old measurement of what we know about our spouses. He just told you he doesn't like okra soup. Before.
But I've been baptized.
But now, he said it, he has been baptized. That's what he eats now.
Over time.
Over time. So in that case, the woman will be unfair to the guy, saying, I don't like this soup, and you are not listening. Who has the marking scheme? It's you. You are the one,
Not the wife.
not the
man.
wife.
The man.
You are cooking. Good job, wife. But this soup is not my soup.
Yes.
Cook my soup for me. So the marking scheme is with you that wants to eat the kind of soup you want. So you upgrade and cook that soup to please the person. So speak the person's love language to him. That's when it makes meaning. And for that woman, the man has done everything. That might not be her love language. But there's a way to appreciate a man. Every man, even if that's not their primary love language, wants people to affirm them. wants an encourager. That's why you are a wife. You are helper, you are intercessor, you are advocate, you are strengthener. How are you helping this man? He does everything for you and you can't even say, "Ah, my darling, thank you so much." You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll send a message, my husband does something, I send to his sister, "Please help me thank Tunde that he did this." She'll say, who is supposed to do it before? It's him. But the truth is, the more appreciative you are, the more the person will want to reinforce that behavior. But when you don't show appreciation, and some people learn it from home, their mothers don't know how to say sorry, their fathers don't know how to say sorry, they don't know how to say thank you, they just assume. First time we got married, true life story. I will eat, I'll tell my husband, "Thank you." You say, "Let me prepare the food." You understand? I grew up in a home where you eat, everybody that is around you, you will greet in Edo language. And greet them, "Thank you, thank you." They didn't prepare food, but you will greet them. So I got married, that was my tradition. I brought it into the home. So when I finished eating, "Thanks, sir." He's like, I'm not the one that prepared the food. But that was the culture I was bringing in.
Wow.
So right now, our kids now thank people
They do the same
because that's a
thing.
good thing. So what I want to end, just to add to that, look at what is causing that issue. If it's going to better the home, do it. Listen, Obono, am I right? It's healthy.
Yeah.
Ogbono.
Ogbono.
Is Obono so not healthy? No, Doc, is it not healthy?
Yes, very healthy.
Very healthy.
Very healthy.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me quickly say this before I go to the next question, which also boils down to non-satisfaction. You are not satisfied. Now, there's an issue with sexual incompatibility in marriage. I know we have 90% of the audience are matured persons here.
Yeah.
And somebody said that there is no approved, constitutionally approved numbers of minutes
Very true.
or hours that two couples can spend while mating or while cohabiting. Please, can you speak to that so that we settle this whole issue?
Okay, let's put it like this. When we say sexual incompatibility, as Christians, we're expected to keep ourselves pure. So when you come in pure, the man is coming pure. So it's like having a child. When you first try to breastfeed a child, the child will miss the nipple until you help continue. And for the woman, especially if she has not been used to breast sucking, she will be tickled. She can't really sit still. It's after some time they both get used to each other and they will stay. So that's the ideal situation. But that's not the ideal for most people. Some people would have been out. The other person now knows something. The other one doesn't know. And it becomes a problem. So the first thing is, for sex, in quote, between couple, nobody is counting. If you want to have it morning, afternoon, evening, it's your wife. Nobody is counting. But then know yourselves. Know what turns you on. A lot of people don't even know their body. Some people have never taken time to look at themselves. It's always in the darkness. It's always at night. You are not a cultist. You can make love in the morning, afternoon, evening. Anywhere. If people are not in your house. Nobody is saying it must be in the bed. When people say missionary, I say, who even called it missionary style? There's no prescribed style in the Bible. But any style you are doing, make sure that somebody will not end up in the emergency. Are you getting me?
Very important.
Make sure nobody ends up in the emergency and make sure the other person is comfortable with whatever you are doing. So that brings me, some people will ask me, oh, is porn? We don't do porn, we are Christians. We don't do porn. Because those people are not real, they're ungodly, there's a spirit of lust. Yeah. Oh, should I watch porn to get high? You need to see a counselor. You need help. Because you already carried addiction, masturbation habits into the home, and you are making the bed undefiled. It's not by committing adultery. You're already committing something. So you need help. So how do we manage ourselves? Is know ourselves. Ask ourselves what is comfortable. And there are therapies when people are having sexual issues where you master yourself. It's not every time you rush. Understand the person. Know the person's space. And for men, understand this. It's not every time a woman will have orgasm. It's not a crime. Because the men are like microwave. The women is like crock pot. Microwave is now. Crock pot will take time to boil. And when it cooks well. So learn to foreplay. Don't just come, go, sleep. There's need for foreplay. Know the person you are with. So it's a class we need to master. But master yourselves first. Know your pace. Know how you want it when you want it. Somebody said one time that it's what tells a man he needs to eat food that tells him he needs to have sex. And most men eat at least twice a day. So as a woman, how do you cope? Go to the Holy Spirit. Your husband is not a sex maniac. He just has desires for you. He loves you that much. How do you help yourself? Holy Spirit, help me. Package yourself well. Then you as a man, what can I do to help her? Do you know doing house chores makes you more sexy to your wife? Do you know that? House chores. If you can walk up a sweat, that's your smell is attractive to her as you are washing plates, as you are cleaning, as you are helping with the babies.
Wow, wow, wow.
Are you getting me? So you are helping yourself. Do you get me? You are helping yourself. And don't say it's your children. Go and meet your mother. The woman is tired. She has gone to work. She has done so many things. You come back, you are not even saying, my darling, how are you?
Wow.
You do everything. From morning till evening, you didn't check up on her. In the evening, you want to cash out. Your check will bounce. It's normal.
Don't you think we have to take another section for this particular issue? Let's just go to the next question. We have a lot of questions here. Now, somebody is asking. He says, outside having peace of mind with somebody I'm dating, how will I know if the person is my wife? Now, the second question, I just want us to quickly rush this question, is that now we are already dating. I think the second phase. And you know, family, they're already aware. And the family of the girl goes to pray and says, this guy is not your wife. We saw it. What am I going to do? Two questions in one.
So, how do you know the person is your wife? As people of faith, I always tell people, you ask yourself, are values your values? What are values? Where do you see compatibility? Yeah. Have you prayed about it and God gives you peace? Okay? God gives you peace about it. Because choosing a life partner is very important. She's like choosing life or death. Okay? So it's important you get it right. How do you know that she is your wife? Ask God. That's one question. Two, is there friendship around you? Where you paint the future? Do you see her in what you are trying to do in the future? So those are clear parameters that you check.
Okay, then I haven't known that. Sorry, I haven't known that.
Yes, sir.
The parents of the girl
yes. So what do you do? Now, the parents of the lady says that no, they went to pray and they found out that Tunde is not supposed to marry.
God showed it to them. They didn't just find out. God showed it to them.
Okay.
That this guy
no
is
problem.
not
That's why I said as person of faith, am I right? You went to God first, isn't it? Yeah. So you ask. No problem. If that happens, tell your babe, let's not argue about it. Because we need their blessing. Please, you need your parents' blessing.
Parental blessings.
Very important, please. It's a blessing that gives you long life. Even if they're not believers, it gives you long life. Very important. So what do I ask people to do? Because you prayed, am I right? First thing, Lord, you told us that this is my wife. God is not out of confusion. Mm-hmm. Am I right? And I believe it. Show it to them. Number one. Number two, then she needs to have a discussion with her father and mother. Yeah. That daddy, I am and Tunde has showed to me that he is able to take care of me. Number two, we prayed about it. Daddy, she needs to go and sell you to them. Not you going to sell. She needs to be the one to sell. And please, I want to beg, let her walk it. And if really God spoke to you, he will speak to that. He will show which one is the lie, whether it's your own or their own.
Please, can we give a round of applause? Now, this person is asking, he said, as an individual, I want to keep the personality of my wife, and I want her to be teachable and to be able to compromise. What should I do? I think the person is actually talking about retaining your nature, but you should be able to change. So it seems contradictory.
So I think what he's saying is that his wife is A, she's B, and he sees the gap. Because you see the gap of your partner.
You don't see your own.
You don't see your own. You usually see the weaknesses your partner has. Okay? Because I'm a bit, my wife calls me a perfectionist because I'm detailed. Am I right? So she does many things. So sometimes I will say, babe, why don't you finish? You start something, finish this one. Finish this one. You only get the reward for what you finish, not what you start.
Yeah.
Am I right? So then I will not say, okay, unfortunately, I begin to teach her from a perspective that she must do it my way. That's wrong. Number two, from a perspective that she must change at my own time. That's wrong. You can't, sincerely speaking, you can't change. You cannot change anybody.
Yeah.
You can be a catalyst for change. Mm-hmm. You can be what? A catalyst for change. Yeah. What does that mean? Organize trainings that she can go to. Speak to an auntie that's your friend and say, my wife, I think she lacks this thing. Can you call her and explain to her how you are doing it?
Wow.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Be a catalyst for change.
Wow, that's a great one. Yeah. Now, this other person is asking, is it proper for, as a couple, for you to sleep on a different room? Sleep in a different room, actually.
I asked my wife to answer.
And just to say, that is for couples that have many rooms. Yeah. For those that have one, you don't need to answer. So, is it, yes. So, is it proper?
In their mind, they are sleeping in different rooms. But if they have one room, is it proper?
What I will say is this. If we really want to be a team in marriage, and that's marriage, two are better than one. They have a better reward. So, when they lie together, they have warmth together. So even if you have 2 rooms, women, we have more clothes, we have more shoes, bags. You can have that room for those things, but learn to sleep in your room with your spouse. It's easier to settle quarrel, settle conflict when you are in the same room than when you have separate room. And it's easier to have the habit of being a team than when we leave that our father and mother method of having separate rooms. Sometimes people will say, the children are crying. The man says, I have to go to work and things. No. We both gave birth to that child. Teach the child how to stay in their room. Take them and take turns. So, for what we stand for, we won't advise it. But for some people, they might say, that's how we want it. We can't legislate fully. But if you want to be a team, it will tear you apart eventually. Because you won't be able to manage what will happen. You get so used to it. You only meet, today you meet in this room, sleep. It won't be the same when you are sleeping.
You won't really know your partner.
Skin to skin, sleeping and cuddling and things like that. So you can have another room to say, this is madam's room. Just clothes and things like that. But husband and wife, what is really expected is be a team, be on the same bed, sleep together, wake up together, pray together, do everything together. So the marriage can last.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, this person is asking, still boils down to the issue of phone, but taking it from a different perspective. I like being private, and he wants to institute that in the life of the wife or the spouse. But the spouse is saying, take my phone. I don't like the way you are not checking my phone. Now, he is not saying that he's just a private person. And he does not like the culture of checking phone. But the wife is saying that, check my phone. What do I do?
So, thank you for that question. And we're not saying that you should go and be a policeman or policewoman and always check my phone, check my phone. No. We're not saying that.
No, the wife is saying check.
Yes. Now, why is she saying check? Am I right? Maybe he said some things that looks as if it's suspicious. Maybe.
No.
Or she just went on her own.
She's not just comfortable. Maybe from where
It's
she's
a
coming
trap,
from.
oh, guy. If you start
No.
checking, you will check your own.
No, okay. Possibly.
It's a trap.
Possibly.
But it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yes. She knows that
Yes.
the guy likes privacy.
Yes.
So you check mine, I will have the right to
When
check
you
your
can
own.
check your own with time. So it's a trap. Don't
so-
do it.
I mean, yeah, my counsel to him, okay, is when she does that, just reassure her that you trust her. I don't need to check your phone to say I don't trust you. You know, I trust that you are accountable. My counsel to her, don't let there be no hidden agenda while you are trying to do it. Today we are talking about phones, but people are so sophisticated now with all kinds of things. The most important thing we're saying is let there be no secrecy among you.
Yeah.
Let there be no secrecy among you.
Thank you very much. I know we've dwelt on much questions, but I just want us to close with these questions in one. And because of time, I want to plead that let's just be snap about it.
Okay.
Now, the first is that, what is your idea about joint account? Then 2, for a family that want to maintain financial stability, I know the chairman is already, the time is ticking.
Yeah.
For a family that want to maintain financial stability, what is your idea about 2 couples living, apart, distant? One is in London, the other one is Nigeria, or one is in Abuja, just to create the financial stability. And 3, how do you choose mentors?
So, yeah.
Which one do you want to take? Let me take
Go ahead.
the one of separation. As a rule, everybody has a sexual threshold. So for us, as a rule, anything above 90 days is not safe. Because after 90 days, before you know it, you leave yourself. It's not a matter of trust. You are giving the enemy. You understand? Thank God for GSM now so you can call. But you need to know your partner to that extent where you do beyond 90 days. If it's something you can come see. So we are not advocates for one person is here for 5 years. No, that's not marriage. We are not advocates for that. Situation may call for it, but if we can, let's go together. Then joint account, we practice. But we will say do more of joint accountability. So we have separate accounts. We have joint account that we use to run things. So we tell people, 2 are better than 1. Manage your resources together. Because every nation, they have what they provide economically. I can make provision. My husband can make provision. We put our resources together and we become mega force. Okay? So it's better we do things together. And if you feel, okay, this person is a spender, because in every family there's a spender, there's a saver. Who is the spender? Who is the saver? Learn to manage all of that. So learn we call it the 6 M of money. Learn the mindset of money. Learn how to multiply money. Learn how to make money, multiply money. Learn how to manage it. Learn how to make merry with money. And finally, learn how to make impact.
With money.
People don't give in church. They don't give money. They don't support. The truth is, everything about us today, people that know me right from, pastor knows me, even before I got married. Nobody died and left money for us. Some of the things we've attained today, some of the great things we're doing, in terms of business and co, is as a result of the word and giving. I'm not giving money when I give in church to Pastor Ima. I'm blessing my destiny.
100%.
We have sown some dangerous seed that can't make sense. I can't even tell my mom. She will say, bastard child. Because God did not say, sow it to her. If I go and do it, I will lose my blessing. But I make sure I take care of them. And then as a wife, I don't hinder him from not sowing. There are some women, if you dare sow, you are dead. A pastor came to me one day and said, God will bless you. You are a good woman. Why? Because some of the things my husband would do, he's doing it with both of us. Sometimes I'll tell him, Sunday, God did not speak. Let him speak to me. You can't sow that money. He will say he's sowing it. I say, he did speak. Let him speak to me. And we've had cases like that. And he will speak. I'll be the one crying, say, go and sow it to her. Beg. I don't want God to punish me. So, in millions.
So how do you choose your mentors? Let's
So
do that.
how
We're
do
already
you?
far behind
Yes.
time.
So don't choose a mentor that is only you, okay, or only her. So she likes this couple, and she now bring out. But why don't you go and let that people know? No. What should you do? Two of you ask yourself prayerfully. Lord, bring who is in our destiny. Bring the person our way. That's the first thing. Second thing, which person's home is not perfect, not perfect, but they are sincere and we can submit to. Because the oil flows from where? Top down. Am I right? So which couple? And the third very critical part is don't look for a mentor where there is trouble. If not, you'll be biased. Look for a mentor when, like now you're 42. How many seconds again?
I'm 42. I'm proudly 42 days in marriage.
How many seconds?
1,080 hours in marriage.
Yes. Okay. Times 60 gives you the seconds. so look for, this is the right time. Somebody said a pilot doesn't choose his co-pilot in the air. You choose the co-pilot before taking off.
Yeah.
Please, can we give a round of applause for
Thank you.